Good morning from my backyard, Los Angeles, Granada Hills to be exact. Good morning. Happy New Week, says one of my members. I agree. Pretty good day. I was looking for a green hat to wear, so I was thinking when I'm doing these live streams, I can wear a red hat for red days in my account, not the market, and wear a green hat for green days. So I couldn't find a green hat. Maybe I'll need to go get one. So good morning. Welcome to Trading with Sergio. Every Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, unless something major happens, a personal emergency or whatever. Hopefully not. And every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, Power Hour. How was everyone's weekend? Halloween's coming up. It's going to be a 3-day Halloween weekend. It's on Friday this year. Should be good for the kids anyway, and for a lot of adults. I'm not a huge fan of Halloween, but then I'm probably too old. Yeah, that's what's going on. Markets ripping again, as the title of today's live stream indicates. Has the melt up begun? And somehow crypto is creeping up. I think I kind of am sensing this little inverse correlation between gold and crypto at the moment, when actually gold was making all-time highs about 43, 4,400. Crypto was kind of selling off, and now it seems like that has reversed. Gold has been on a sell-off, although when things go parabolic, we know how they end. It's been selling off. I'm looking to put some trades on, not on gold, but on NUGT. But patience, let the market come to you. Thank you for the support, by the way, for the channel. Channel is growing slowly but surely. It's growing. Please share the content. I think content we're putting out is not only timely, but I think it's relevant to what's going on. And on top of that, today, the third free newsletter from my website goes out. We started it 3 weeks ago. It's at www.sergioavadian.com. Please go subscribe. It's free. I'm not selling you anything. I am not asking for anything but your email, not your phone number, nothing. All I'm asking is for your email, because I do a lot of different things. So some of you may have seen me on YouTube from another channel, pretty big channel, for our niche anyway. Now I started this finance platform, let's say, which is the website, www.sergioavadian.com, and the YouTube channel. YouTube channel is about a year and a couple of months old. But the website just launched 3 weeks ago, as I said. I totally believe that financial literacy in the United States is lacking, sorely lacking. So, am I going to be the one? Am I the hero? No. There's many wonderful folks who talk about similar things. I think our styles are different. I try to take finance to the level that a middle school kid can understand, but there's also complex trading going on in my personal trading account and my long-term investment account. So I want to, the the content I'm trying to put out is not watered down, but I'm trying to serve something for everyone's palate. If you're new to investing, you will enjoy the website. If you're more intermediate to advanced, you will enjoy the YouTube channel, because the content we're putting out is relative to catering to most folks, everyone, because financial literacy starts at home, just like everything else. You are your environment. I believe that. I truly believe that. If you're not discussing finance with your friends, and I'm not asking an elementary school or a middle school kid to talk about or a high school kid talk about finance, but then they should, because I put out a really popular video last week that you are in charge of your financial future. Nobody else is. Government's not going to help you unless you have rich parents. That's out of the window. So why not, right? Why not take charge of your financial future? And with all the tools we have today, from AI, from large language models, from YouTube channels and X folks and all kinds of stuff, you just got to find the person you click with, and we're all putting out similar content, but the delivery of the content is quite different. So I noticed that with a lot of channels, they do pump a lot of stuff. I call it the way I see it. I talk about both sides of the coin. Markets went ripping, everything is great, but I've seen it in the last 30 plus years of doing this. I've seen the other side of the coin, and the other side of the coin is a slippery slope. It's an ugly situation, but we haven't had one for a while. So that's why a lot of you who are new to investing or finance or trading have a one-track mind, which is stonks only go up. Not so. For example, if you were to look at UPS, if you were to look at Lululemon, if you were to look at even Tesla, now that it's coming up back up top of the trading range, if you look at a lot of stocks, there's 10,000 stocks. If you look, a lot of them. In fact, today market's making an all-time high. I would encourage you to run a scanner and run a scan on your brokerage platform. How many stocks are making 52-week lows today? If you're in one of those, market's not going to help you. So stonks don't only go up, stonks go both ways. Stocks are made to be bought and sold. In some cases, they create generational wealth. Great. So don't go selling cover calls and trying to pick up pennies in front of a bulldozer. Let the good horse run. Put a good jockey on it, and jockey is you. You need to figure it out. Not everything is going to be given to you, because I have a saying: you can give a man a fish and feed him for a day. You can teach him how to fish. You can feed him for life. So the important thing that I'm trying to do with this platform, with the website and the YouTube channel, is not dumb it down, but cater to a lot of different folks from different parts of life, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different education levels, right? Because finance could get complicated, investing could get complicated, and it could get intimidating. So I want to get the intimidation factor out, because I think the key is to understand your risk tolerance, your risk levels. Don't listen to too much of this YOLOers on Robinhood who made fortunes supposedly on Beyond Meat when it went from 50 cents to $10 overnight or in 3 days, and then now they're all holding the bag. And now X is full of folks saying, oh, I'm just going to hold on. Diamond hands. Like, these things don't exist. Wall Street doesn't give a rat's ass about your diamond hands, your paper hands, whatever kind of hands you have. You have hands. It's your choice to make it diamond hands or paper hands. So I'm going to try to present a picture that is balanced, right? Because I've seen pretty much every crash last 30 years. I've seen pretty much every economic cycle and what that does to markets over the last 30 years. I've seen many QT and QE by the Federal Reserve, quantitative tightening and quantitative easing. I've seen what the printers are doing, the money printers. I've seen what Washington is doing. So history is on my side. Experience is definitely on my side. And one last thing about this is you cannot buy, read, or learn experience or gain experience from reading a book. You have to get in the race. So but as far as investing is concerned, you have to take charge today. It's never too late to start. If you didn't do it already, after this live stream, if you do catch this, start investing. And the website is the newsletters that are going out on the website are definitely geared towards investing, long-term investing, how to start, what the tools are. Initially, the newsletters, the free newsletters that go out are going to be about that. They're going to be short. I understand people's attention spans are pretty short these days, and they really don't like to read that much. I still like reading, but the newsletter is going to be about 3 to 4 minute read, which I think you have plenty of time to do so, and pick up something. Once you pick it up, then you can add that to your database and say, oh, well, I can do that. All I'm saying is that I want to get you going. Okay? There is no wrong time to invest. A lot of people ask me, oh, isn't the market too high? I don't know. Is it? Because the price is the price. You don't argue with the price. You may not agree with it, but it shouldn't stop you from investing on a long-term basis because, as we know, with ETFs and things like that, passive investing is very fashionable. I do both. I invest and I trade. When I trade, I treat things much differently than investing. But that's all I'm trying to do. I created this platform. I created it for gig workers, but it's for everyone. There are a lot of people, young, middle-aged, whatever, all kinds of educational backgrounds who are intimidated by investing, or they always tell me, I talk to a lot of people, they always tell me about Serge, I can hardly get by with what I'm making in my W-2. I go, there you go. You just proved my point. Because your W-2 or your paycheck is never going to keep pace with what the government's doing, is never going to keep pace with inflation, is never going to keep pace with dollar devaluation or you losing the buying power. If it did, it should go up by 7-8% a year. Has your paycheck over the last 5 years, now let's not go back further, over the last 5 years, has it gone up 7-8% a year? I don't think so. So you're basically just spinning your wheels and you're losing money, pretty much. You don't even know you are, but you are. How you're losing money? Well, nominally you're not. You're still seeing dollar amounts on bills, but that bill that could have bought you $100 worth of goods 5 years ago, today is going to buy you $70 worth of goods because you're losing 6-7% buying power every single year. Government will gaslight you. That's one other thing I'm going to try to educate folks about. Look, government's necessary. There are a lot of people who are not well-to-do, one reason or another, and government should take care of those people. I get it. But government frivolously spending our hard-earned dollars, which we pay taxes on, should also be frowned upon. Because Washington spends every dollar we send them to the tune of $5 trillion, and then they borrow another $2.5 trillion and spend that. On what? We don't know. I mean, they put a budget out there, right? But I don't think the money is spent on proper things, right? We spend more money than God, any country on the planet on education. We're like 28th, 29th when it comes to math and science around the globe. Embarrassing, really. And then the kids have their iPhones. They get on TikTok and they watch these, whatever they do, it's brain cell death, basically, as opposed to understanding finance. So I even opened a TikTok account. I'm completely against TikTok, but I opened a TikTok account and I'm posting shorts now about finance. Some people will like it, some people will not. It's not the point. The point is I'm trying to be proactive about financial literacy from elementary school all the way to college. Because if we get them there, these folks are not going to lag behind or be left behind. These folks are going to start investing early because that's the key. Last week's newsletter is on the blog. Please go check it out. It's about Warren Buffett. Do I agree with Warren Buffett's style of investing? Would it be successful today? Maybe, maybe not. The point I'm trying to make, though, is there is the power of compounding. Simplest thing. People don't even understand it, how it works. So figure a little snowball that starts at the top of the mountain. By the time it hits below on the valley, it's an avalanche. That's what power of compounding is. People don't know about power of 72. People don't know anything because they're not taught. I think it should be mandatory from elementary school all the way to college. School economics teachers should talk about finance, should invite parents who are in finance and talk to their classes about these things, talk to the kids about these things. Because kids are curious, kids are interested. But they're going to just, whatever you put in front of them, it's like food, right? Food for your brain. Whatever you put in front of them, that's what they're going to eat. Well, why don't we add finance to the menu? Because we do add a lot of different things. We have a big menu at schools, right? From sex education to gender issues and things like that. Okay, cool. I'm not against it. They should. But how about finance? How about we teach them basics? Why should they, coming out of college with 150, 200,000, in some cases a lot more in student loans, which they're going to pay high interest for the rest, probably for a long, long, long time, right? So all this is connected to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to inform, I'm trying to educate. Some may agree, some may disagree. No offense taken, but I'm going to continue doing it because I'm on a journey. And if any of you are interested in joining me in this journey, FYI, my hat's off to Lindsay Stamp. Her interview is on the channel. Please go check it out. She's a young lady from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She has a nice W-2, but she figured out Bitcoin is for her. She's been stacking Bitcoin for the last year and a half. Okay. How's she doing it? She's figuring out where she can not cut her budget, adjust her budget to stack Bitcoin. You know what she figured out? She figured, I'm going to go drive Uber, and every single dollar revenue I get from that, I'm going to stack Bitcoin with it. What a brilliant idea, right? You don't have to do Uber, but you can do other things, right? As independent contractors, you can go, I don't know, if you don't like Uber, get on a bike and deliver food maybe. And I'm not talking, hours and hours and hours a week. She does it maybe 5, 6, 8 hours a week outside her W-2. I interviewed her. Amazing young lady. She should be the role model for a lot of folks. And she's been stacking Bitcoin, and every single day she dollar cost averages into Bitcoin. Every single day. And every single dollar she gets from Uber and Lyft driving, she puts it in there. In fact, she went out this weekend. She does these YouTube shorts called, I think, Uber Chronicles. And she earned $93 in a couple of hours. Pretty good, right? And she even posted. She immediately went and, bought Bitcoin with it. So she decided Bitcoin is for her. But there's a lot of instruments out there. There's ETFs. There is mutual funds. And there is, you can even, I'm not going to say interest-bearing stuff because you're losing money there. Because people go put it in a CD at 4% or money market at 3.5%, 4%, not at the Fed's cutting rates. Those are going to go lower. And they think they're doing okay. No, you're not. You're actually still falling behind because your value of your currency, fiat currency, is going down by 6-7% a year. So, yeah, that's my journey. Join me in this journey. Please help me out. Please go subscribe to the newsletter at www.sergioavadian.com. Even if you're advanced, there's something for you. There's going to be stuff for trading. There's going to be stuff on ETFs. There's going to be stuff on dividend investing. There's all kinds of stuff. So, and pass it around, right? Support me that way. I would appreciate that. And it's free. What can you get for free these days? And same thing on the YouTube channel. There's something for everyone. And I appreciate the support. So good morning. Doug, Luis, and SJ, my members. FYI, it's not that we're here. I have a members chat group, Telegram chat group. What do they get? They get quite a bit. Well, they get me, and then they I don't know if they're happy about that. But what they get is they get my live trades. As soon as I do the trades, I post them. At the end of the day, they get live open positions of my trades. And on Wednesdays, they get a members-only live stream at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Those are fun. They're learning quite a bit. They're understanding the mechanics of trading, and I'm very happy with what I'm doing there. So if you want to join, go click join on the YouTube channel. Send me an email, sergio@sergioavadian.com. I will send you the Telegram chat group link, and then you can join. So Manny P, good morning. Here's a question. Let's answer a couple of questions. Oh, by the way, if any of you want to join, I think I'm going to be here probably for an hour. I'll go to my positions. Great day in the account today. Massive green day today. So here is the StreamYard link if you guys want to join me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. How would you enter leaps on BMNR? Are you bullish on ETH? I don't want to even talk about BMNR because I think there is better tools than BMNR out there. I'm an SBET, Sharp Link Gaming. I have put a lot of good videos on MNAV, multiple to net asset value, or market cap to net asset value, whichever one you want to use. If you don't have an understanding of MNAV, you should not touch any of these DAX. DAX meaning digital asset, DATs, digital asset treasury companies. So I would study MNAV, and if you don't understand it, it doesn't matter if you get into leaps, non-leaps, whatever. Because BMNR is not going anywhere. If Ethereum doesn't go up, BMNR on its own is not going to go anywhere. Nowhere. Okay. Oh, there's my buddy. There's my buddy. I knew someone would come on. What's up, buddy?
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm having a massive green day, like a massive. So we'll see. How you doing?
I don't know what happened. I feel like I got a knuckle. Hold on. Let me do this. Give me a
I
second.
can hear you.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's because I had the YouTube playing in the background. So.
Oh yeah, you're hearing yourself. Yeah, there's an echo or something. Yeah,
like hello.
I know. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just finished the members only stream, and I was just looking over the accounts. Looking over the accounts, and BM&R is like trying, man. It's trying, but it's like
bro. I see. Okay, so you answered this question. Okay, this gentleman asked me this question, right? So here I give you my answer, and then let's see what your answer is.
So an opportune time to do leaps, and I added to my leaps was BM&R had gone down to like 48 or so, I think, last week. And I bought 50 more leaps, and I bought them out of the money, actually. Like it was a home run play. I bought 75s for January of 27.
Yeah.
But I'm also waiting for a nice bounce. And if that happens, then I'm going to be running the poor man cover call campaign on those leaps.
Okay. So this is how I answered Joe Boxer 212's question. He goes, how would you enter leaps on BMNR? Right? I'm going like, you can simply just click the buy button and do it.
Yeah.
but I said, if you don't understand MNAV, You should not touch any of these DATs. That's digital asset treasury companies, right?
Agreed.
If you don't understand that, then you can buy BMNR Leaps from here to Kingdom Come. If Ethereum doesn't move up, BMNR is not going to go anywhere, right? So a lot of people are interested in these. I'm very interested in these. I have like 2 huge positions on SBAT and a couple other ones. Yeah. Now, my horse in this race is going to be SBAT.
Right.
Not because I'm buying it at 0.85 MNAV, right?
Well, you're getting the discount there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm buying, like, I look at it as like I'm buying ETH at a 15% discount.
Right.
Pretty decent management. They're staking it already in like less than 2.5 months. They got close to 6,000 ETH. He's staking it, and somebody just gave him 75 million at $17 a share, which is like ridiculous. But I go, hey, they took the money and bought ETH with it. Great, thumbs up. But for all the folks who watch DJ and myself, and I just executed something, I don't know what it was. But how would you enter Leaps? You enter by clicking the buy button. You can pick your Leap and then do what TJ is doing. Do the PMCC, poor man covers call, poor man's cover call. There's many ways to skin the cat, but please go educate yourself with MNAV. And in a lot of these companies' cases, TJ, SBAT, MNAV, on BMNR is difficult because they're so actively selling shares and buying ETH. Every day the share count is changing, right? But on SBAT, company created a live dashboard. On DFTV, company created a live a lot of these companies have created live dashboards, and it literally tells you what it is, so you don't have to go to a spreadsheet and do your MNAV calculations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm bullish, man. I'm bullish on Ethereum. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I've opened it. I don't know if you heard it or not. Do you think there is a correlation now, an inverse correlation actually now, between gold and crypto?
Man, I feel like since 1971, people have been buying gold as a hedge, right? Because we were taken off of was it Nixon? I guess that took us off the gold standard in 1971, before my time. So gold was like, that was the saying, right? It's like it's as good as gold, right? So gold was like this one thing that people were like, this thing's always going to have value. So it became like the store of value, right, back in the day. And it's still a big store of value. There's a lot of people gold's hit all-time highs here very recently.
Yeah, 3 days ago. But then what I'm seeing is that, as a trader, you watch for these things, right? Nuances, or I'm not going to call an edge, but you do see the big moves happening. So gold for the last maybe 3, 4, 5 days, trading days, have been selling off hard.
Yeah.
And obviously hit 4,400. I mean, it deserves a sell-off here, right? Profit taking, whatever it is. And then I see Bitcoin and ETH and Solana kind of moving the opposite direction. So now I'm thinking, okay, is there an inverse relationship? Are people who were piling into gold getting out of gold and piling into crypto now? Because for my money, I mean, crypto is the only asset class that hasn't med the all-time high yet. The stock market all-time high, right? Gold all-time high, all these things. And I mean, this week may be big in crypto. Fed's obviously going to cut the rates again on Wednesday, right? Yeah. So a lot of things are lining up, man. And I'm seeing money coming out of gold going into crypto. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have a good week.
No, I think that Tom Lee's the reason I got bullish on Bitcoin around 2014, 2015. Yeah. Because I started really understanding it, and he called it the digital gold. He knows, he was like, eventually there's going to be a percentage. This is what he was saying in 2015, guys. Like, go look at the tape. Eventually the money is going to start flowing from gold to this digital gold, which is Bitcoin, because there's a finite number, right? The 21 million is what he kept pushing. And you can't just print Bitcoin. You're not going to do the way the dollar, right? They're debasing the dollar every day. So eventually people are going to catch on to that, and they're going to really wrap their mind around, hey man, I need to have my own little Satoshis, right? Like, I need to have my own little part of this the modern day California gold rush. Yeah. And I definitely see, like, my belief is this: money never leaves the market. It just moves from different sectors. Yeah, everybody, like, I tune into Amit. I love my boy Amit. He's always like, oh, there's so much money in money markets and all this other bullshit, right? And I'm like, money just moves from sector to sector, right? Like it's like Jim Cramer is very famous for saying there's a bull market somewhere and I'm going to like do my best to find it for you, right?
Yep.
And there's always a bull market somewhere, like there truly really is. But if there's a bull market, then that probably means that there's also a bear market, right? So you have to, so I think that you're definitely spot on. I do think that there's going to be a lot of money transferring over, not just from gold, but from other sectors into crypto because Bitcoin over the last 2 to 3 years has become mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, it's got its dedicated ticker on CNBC where you see this thing auto-populate on there every 30 to 45 seconds, right? Because he got it on a loop. And whenever that happened, like 3 or 4 years ago, when they started like tracking Bitcoin, because Bitcoin wasn't like the featured ticker, right? Like the Dow, the S&P, those are, you know, the NASDAQ, those are featured tickers. They're always on there, right?
Yeah.
And then the other ones are streamers, right? Bitcoin used to be one of the streaming tickers. But now that it became a featured ticker on the loop, I was like, I feel like they're already telling you how this movie's going to play out. So,
well, not only it's become mainstream, it's become institutionalized now.
Big time.
Right? So that's one. But I think
Tom
Lee, my hat's off to Tom Lee. He's the GOAT.
Yeah,
I'm nothing wrong with Tom Lee. But I think he also has figured out this. You know, I think the next step on Wall Street, you know, which I'm really following closely, and Robinhood is doing a really good job at this as well. I think they're in the front lines of this, is tokenization of all these assets, right? So they're going to literally create tokens on stocks. You can literally trade stocks as a token as opposed to buying the underlying stock itself. And please go check out, folks. You know, I don't have time to now explain all of this, but the tokenization can only happen on the Ethereum network at the moment.
Correct.
Bitcoin is not going to give you the Bitcoin has its own things. It's limited, you know, limited quantity, finite asset, whatever you want, digital gold, inflation hedge, whatever you want to call it. But Ethereum has a lot more functionality than Bitcoin does, and so does Solana. So don't just be a one horse, you know, jockey. You know, there is Ethereum, there is Solana, there is a lot of DATs, digital asset treasury companies that you guys should look into, you know, and I picking few, and then look, you know, TJ, to me, this is the way it works. You create a thesis. The thesis is based on facts. It's not like what Tom Lee said or Amit said or whatever. Yeah. You create the thesis on facts. You structure your trade, and then you'll let it work out. And this is how it works. And if you're right, you're going to be rewarded. If you're wrong, you're going to eat it. So that's trading for you, folks. You could be short term, long term, whatever the heck it is. But don't make it too complicated. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the tokenization of assets and crypto because it's very new to me. Yeah. Like this verbiage has been in the works only in my mind for about 6 months or so. Yeah. So it's like I was very, very late to like the MicroStrategy plays. I didn't really understand. Like I was like, this feels like a Ponzi scheme. Like just at first look, you know, at first look. But then I'm like, I see a bunch of smart people gravitating. Yeah. So it gave me cause to pause, and I'm like, let me go look at it again, right? Yeah. It's like the girl walks into the club and you prejudge her. Yeah. And then she opens her mouth and you're like, holy shit, you're more than just a pretty face, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it happened to me with my wife. I met my wife for the very first time, real pretty face. She was at the family restaurant. And I was like, oh man, she's probably gonna be dumb. Like, and it's not, dude, like,
your wife is not watching this, is she?
True story, dude. I thought she was gonna be dumb because it's been my experience in my life that the real pretty girls are kind of ditzy. And then I get to learn about her, and she graduated from Stanford with an economics degree, and I'm like, I feel dumb.
Jackpot.
Like, I feel dumb. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I was just like pretty smart. What the hell's wrong with you, right? Like that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, why are you so single?
So it turned out that she had gone through a rough patch in life.
Yeah.
And then I came in and I picked her up at the bottom, right? Like the only stock I've ever bought at the bottom was marrying my wife, so to speak, right? It's like an ongoing joke in the family. Like my wife would have never
bottom picker, bro.
My wife would have never looked my way if things had been going her way when we met. but on a serious note, and I was kind of at the bottom too. I was just coming out of a 8-year relationship, and I was transitioning to New York. So I came to the Rio Grande Valley to stay with my buddy Adrian for a couple of months until my spot opened up, working for a firm that had given me money to trade. There's these firms out there that will fund you. You become a funded trader if you have the skills to pay the bills. We're like, we have all this capital, we're going to pay you for your brain. And they do these things. SMB is one of them. There's another company called
prop firms. Prop firms.
Maverick was the company that I was working with. So it is, there's other ways to make money. Like if you don't have money, but you have the skills, like people will be like, here's our fucking bankroll, go do it. Right. So anyway, what I'm saying is, I prejudged the MicroStrategies of the world. And then when I first got into BM&R, which was about 4 months ago now, because it used to just be Bitmine. It was just a Riot wannabe. Like they were a fledgling Bitcoin miner. That's what they were. And then now I got wind that Tom Lee was going to become the chairman and all this other stuff. The rest is history, right? It's up 500-600% for the year, probably. But I was willing to take a look and then to get educated. But then now I heard Vlad talking about in one of the earnings calls, this tokenization of assets, this tokenization of stocks. And I feel like the more that I understand it, this thing opens up like to the entire world, all of it. Like it's so easy for Robinhood to go from country to country to country with the tokens versus having to follow all the protocols to do
regulations, right? There's regulations. So tokenization is kind of going to circumvent the regulations that are different in every country, pretty much.
It's going to create a lot of expediency that doesn't exist currently. So I'm like, this thing could be big. That's why I know there's like this friendly SoFi and Robinhood rivalry and all that stuff. And you never hear me talk shit about Robinhood, the company. The only thing that I will say, and I could say it to the Vlads of the world, is it's just not capitally efficient to sell options on the Robinhood platform because y'all don't offer portfolio margin for the big people. For the bigger accounts.
No. I mean, look, Robinhood is great. I have a small Robinhood account. I first time actually this weekend, I bet on the Dodgers the first game. I lost. And I bet on the Dodgers again the second game. I'm from LA, bro. No, but I bet on their the whatever they
prediction market.
Bro, it's brilliant.
It is beautiful.
Brilliant. They take money when you place the bet. They take money when you close the bet. They take money. I'm going like, it's brilliant. It's the best bookie online, right? I mean, I didn't bet much, but what I'm trying to say is that the more I go into Robinhood and what they're able to do, what they have been able to do, the additions to the, with the wealth management thing now, there is going to be this massive wealth transfer from the baby boomers to the younger generation, right? Trillions of dollars. Well, every goddamn, millennial or Gen X or whatever, they already have Robinhood accounts. You know what I mean? They're all going to get that money flowing in. And no, I think Robinhood is brilliant. I mean, I don't know if it deserves $150 share price and whatever market cap, but then, as you know, everything sells for the future earnings, so it's nothing for today. But yeah, man, no, Robin's brilliant. It's just brilliant. But no, I'm into this tokenization thing. I'm trying to educate myself more and more. I understand it enough to be dangerous at the moment, but I'm trying to figure it out. Just like I figured out MSTR. I remember I was on one of your lives about a year ago. Then you said, is this MSTR thing is a Ponzi? And I told you, I thought, no, I don't think so at all. However, if you did buy MSTR a year ago and looking at Bitcoin a year ago versus MSTR a year ago, right? The prices are quite different. Bitcoin is still about the same price about a year ago. And MSTR is 40% lower. So that's when I started educating myself more and more about this MNAV thing. Because I go, that's going to be the most important metric if you're going to trade or invest or whatever in any of these DATs. And once I understood that, I go like, okay, I don't even care what happens to the rest of it. I'm bullish on Ethereum. If Ethereum goes up, BMNR is going to go up, SBET's going to go up. All these are going to go up.
Right.
And all I want to know, my entry, when I enter, I want to enter with a discount if possible. And sure enough, discounts came around. And you wait patiently, and then you just put your chips on the table and see where it goes. So,
agreed. You want to see you want to see how the trade's working out for me?
Which one, the BMNR trade?
Yeah, and the MicroStrategy. So whenever we did when you joined us on Wheelers,
let me see how do you do this?
I'll share on my side. Hold on. You'll just add it to the screen. You'll see where it says add to stage. All you have to do is add to stage.
Okay, there you go. Is that it?
Yeah, and I'll show the portfolio here as soon as you add me to the stage. So you see how you have the little box.
Oh, hold on. Before presenting a screen, remove other media. Oh, so I gotta remove us and then add that to the stage. Okay. No, I gotta allow you to share. Hold on a second.
Yeah. We're older, man, so you have to.
The StreamYard thing is goofy, bro. I don't know. I have to remove this, and so then I can.
Yeah, you got to remove your screen sharing in order to.
Yes. Stop screen. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, stop screen. That's the one you want. Stop screen.
Stop screen. Now I gotta allow you to share.
You'll hit add to stage, and then it'll move us to the side.
It says share screen. So if it doesn't say that to me. I don't know. What kind of StreamYard do you have, bro?
So
present or invite? Also, invite? Should I invite? No, I didn't invite already.
So you see on the bottom where you have.
Is it in the settings? Oh, here. No, invite guest. No. Is that the one?
So present. So I already stopped screen. Let me see. So on the bottom, you should have these little boxes where it shows you like if you're covering the whole thing, like pick the one where it shows us on the side, like the two little.
Yes.
Yes, right there. So if I hit present, share screen, entire screen, now you should see it on the bottom. You just hit add to stage.
Gotcha.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you, TJ.
You're welcome. Here to help you.
All right.
Anyway, so are you able to see that on your screen?
It's kind of small, but once you open it up, we'll see.
So I'll go this way. I'll go on the web. The web I can maximize a little bit. Hold on. Just bear with me. Trading.
I should know this shit, but I don't because tomorrow I'm interviewing the CEO of Lyft live. So
nice.
It's going to be like, if I don't know that, well, I have a partner who does the background shit, so I'm like, I don't pay. I just talk. I don't understand any of this shit. I talk and trade.
There you go. So here, so that's a little bit larger, right? Can you see that a little better?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, super. So the SoFi trade, I widened it, so I'm just 27 and 36 for this Friday. There's 374,000 of meat on the bone.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started this trade about 90 days ago, 89 days ago, or 88 days ago, we were negative 200,000 for the year on SoFi. So it's been a pretty massive turnaround running this strangle. And we're going to hold to expiration because I believe that runway is large enough to do so. But I'm also going to kick the can down the road another 85 to 90 days and widen even more. And I'm going to go after like another 700, 800,000 down the road. But back to BM&R.
Uh-huh.
So we got 40,000 shares of BM&R. So I'm still down on the shares, right? Collectively. You see they're down 115,000.
Yeah.
But you'll see that the year to date is positive 123,000. So how does that happen? Is because the reason these DATs, these digital asset treasuries, are so appealing to a lot of option sellers is because BM&Rs, the S-bets, the MicroStrategies of the world, their strategy now, they've created volatility, right? Like they've manufactured volatility. So the premiums are really, really high. So it allows people to do, or the big money, like the huge money, it allows them to do different types of trades and utilize different strategies because these are just premium printing machines, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm positive because I sold covered calls, a very successful round of covered calls. And now I've got the 40,000 shares for sale at 62 next Friday. Yeah. So I'm down a little bit on that particular trade, but I don't care because I bought my participation trophy to the upside, which is the 250 leaps at 75. Because if these shares get tested, right, if this position gets tested, then mathematically that means that my leaps are going to be printing. And I'm kind of okay doing one of two things. I could potentially roll this covered call if I feel greedy and I think that the move is going to hold, and I could roll to like 60 from 62 to 65 to qualify for another $120,000 in capital appreciation, because we're talking about 40,000 shares times $3. That's a lot of money. Or I could say, you know what, take the shares. I'm going to free up the 2.8 million, and I'm just going to ride off to Valhalla with my 250 leaps. That is the option that most likely I will entertain. Why? Because I need to keep optionality available in the portfolio because I'm playing so big in other positions. But when we were doing the trade, whenever we're doing the wheelers on BM&R, there was one punchline that I put in there that didn't get a lot of attention. So I'm going to say it to you guys again. Everybody's over here on BM&R's nuts. But when I looked at these trades and I was like orchestrating this trade and going through the anatomy of the trade in my mind, like the start, the entry point, the managing and the exit point, I was like, I could go make $1 million faster on MSTR because there's just as much liquidity. The highways are going to be a lot wider, and I'm already up 264,000 on MSTR, and I don't have to own any shares. So this is much more to my liking. So I'm like, as long as the MSTR stays above 220 and 225 and below 400, bro, I got another 468. You couple that with 264, but in a week and a half, I roll the November the 14th and pair them up to the December the 19th. I'll have enough extrinsic value that if this move holds, or in other words, MicroStrategy is kind of chilling, I make $1 million by the end of the fucking year on MSTR, and I never had to go through the hassle of owning the damn shares.
Yeah. Well, I mean, MSTR, your advantage there is volatility actually is coming down on MSTR. Still appreciable, by the way. But, MSTR is down to like 1.125 MNAV now. It used to be like 1.7, 1.8.
But that's why I wanted to talk about this trade, because when I got on, the reason I clicked on is I had started watching you for like 5 minutes, and then you gave the audience some gold. You said you do not want to be in this asset class if you don't really understand MNAV.
Yep.
So the reason that once I looked at the girl again, right, and we used my wife's analogy and the whole thing, right, I did not want any part of MSTR because I was like, you're paying too much. Like there's such a thing as paying too much for a good thing. But now that the MNAV has come down to much more reasonable levels in my mind, and let's just say it went to levels of like maybe not SBET, but because BM&R is getting a premium as well, but it wasn't as high as what MicroStrategy was getting back in the day. I'm like, if it goes to those levels, that's where that 220 and 225 comes into play. You know what I mean?
The only risk,
you can do those calculations, right? And be like, well, how much room do I really have? So when you really learn how to trade this asset class, and again, I'm just getting started, Sergio, but it might be one of the safest ones to sell puts on because you're just really understanding the MNAV and what the market is giving and not giving.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree with you. The only risk you're running on this MSTR trade, is, for example, let's say Tom Lee, what did he say, by the way? He said BTC is going to
there's going to be an inversion, right? To where
BTC said could go to 200,000 by the end of the year, right?
Right. So then this thing could go to fucking 500. Now I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, that's not going to happen. Actually, I don't even think you would be in trouble if BTC goes to like 150, 160. At 200, your cause will be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not going to get stubborn. I'll take the unlimited risk out, or I'll turn it into a call credit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. But no, I mean, I think what you're doing is proper, but most people, you know, they have more basic understanding. I buy something at this price, I sell something at that price.
That's stock market 101. Stock market 101.
I buy low, sell high. I'm more like buy high, sell higher, you know, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But my point in all of this is, look, there's many ways to skin a cat. You have figured out a way to skin the cat, and it's going to work for you because, and that also came, by the way, not until you switched to Tasty, right?
That's a fact. I wasn't able to do any of this on Robinhood, guys. So I apologize. The screenshots aren't as clean, but this was about, we all sat down as a family. We literally had a boardroom as a family because y'all don't see all the money that I trade. There's two really big accounts that are hidden from view because I don't have permission from daddy-in-law to show those accounts. But that being said, it was like, we're going to make an extra $20 million a year for being over on Tasty. And then I'm going to catch flack of like, oh my God, there's $100,000 in fees. And I'm like, dude, if you're not willing to switch, if you're not willing to give $100 grand to make 20 million, I can't help you.
No, that's the price to play. Right. So, and no, I mean, I agree, you know, and we talked about that. I mean, I said, you know, change is difficult, change is scary, but you're going to enjoy it. And I can tell you're already doing much better than you would have done with Robinhood. And man,
it forces you to learn, Sergio. Like, you know, like to me, it's like you learn how to fly a plane on Robinhood, but there's very limited buttons. But then now you're going to be a full-fledged commercial pilot. So you get into the 737, 47 for the first time. It's a lot different than your Cessna, right?
Yeah, you have all these other buttons. You go from a Cessna to a 747. You know, or you're flying the rocket versus this. I'm like, you know, I get it. But you know what? That, you know, I said this at the start of the episode or live today. You cannot learn, teach, read, experience. You just can't.
That is a fact.
You gotta do it. You can't buy experience. You can't do any of that shit. I mean, you can buy experience by paying tuition to Wall Street, which is most YOLOers did on, you know, Beyond Meat, you know, and they're like, oh, it's going to like, I'm like, bro, I don't know. Yeah. It's like, now they're bag holders, you know what I mean? So, but
I don't ever like petition people to make the move to the Tasties and the Charles Schwabs and Fidelities of the world. Like, be ready, like get ready, like work on your knowledge. Like, people spend a lot of time like trying to go find capital, but some of the best investments that you can make is in your mind capital as well. Like, acquire that knowledge. 100%. That way, whenever the capital finds you, the actual money capital, the monetary capital finds you, and your knowledge is up here, it's time to go make hay because the sun's shining. It's sunny and 75 for you. It's time to go
100%. Get it's like, you know, it's like the yin and the yang has to come together because, you know, if your mind is empty, you got all the money, you're going to blow it most likely. Because Wall Street, look, man, Wall Street does not care who you are, what you know, how much you know. They don't give a shit. How much money you have, how much you're trading with. It doesn't make a difference. They're going to try to make you wrong, period. It's about commitment. It's about experience. It's about education. You put that all together, you have a fighting chance. But without that, you just, I don't know what you're doing. You're flipping 0 DTs and hoping, you know, you hit the bullseye every day. I'm like, no, man, I'm not going to do anything, any of that stuff. But anyway, TJ.
I got to run, but I wanted to leave y'all with something. When I first started selling options, there was an old German dude lives in Austin, Texas, or he did at the time. His name was Marcus Hochsitter or something, some name that I can never pronounce. Some dude with like long hair. He had Coffee with Marcus was his little thing. And he opened up an account with 250 grand. I actually think he ended up getting annihilated, but I learned a lot of concepts watching him.
Yeah.
And my big takeaways with him, because I watched probably 10 or 15 of his episodes, but it was like, it's just like, it's very surface knowledge stuff. So it's kind of like, okay, I got what I needed from that teacher. I need to go somewhere else, right? Because he showed me how to get the plane in the air, but not much after that. You know what I mean? So I was like, if we're going to get banned to get our pilot's license, we got to keep going, right? More hours, different instructor, etc. Right? But there was 2 key concepts that I took from that gentleman. So I want to give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
The first one was premium per day, PPD.
Okay.
You only have a certain amount of capital to work with. And if you're in this trade that's paying you $100 per day, but you're just as comfortable in this other trade and it's paying you $125 a day, you might want to move your money to the trade that pays you $125 a day, right?
That's called opportunity cost,
right?
Man. Opportunity cost, right?
So
I
that
try
was,
to tell that to everybody. You could be stuck. Look, you know what? In my days of on the desk, we would have all these screens, right?
yeah.
And we're trading. We're like in the heat of the battle, and then you'd be like a whole screen full of green, whole screen full of green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there'd be like one little red in the corner. Not only that's like abusing you mentally, you know what I mean? Your like eye is focused on that one. So you have 48 greens and one red. Who gives a shit about the red?
Right.
Not only is taking away mental capital from you, right? It's actually taking capital from you, and then the opportunity cost of that one red versus all the other ones is immense. That's what people don't understand. That's why people go like, oh, no, it'll be okay one day. I'm like, no, it may be okay one day, but you missed, in the meantime, you missed all this opportunity, right? With that dumb money that you had sitting as a fish, you could have done all this other stuff. That's what people don't understand. And I think you understood that from that German gentleman. He was like,
yeah, I did. I understood that. Holy moly, man. If I love SoFi, if I'm gonna put at 25, but I'm just as bullish on HIMS at 40 as an example, right? Or PM&R at 40. And if I look at the amount of capital that I have to tie up versus the capital that I'm generating, at the end of the day, I have to maximize the premium per day because I only have so much money to work with.
Yep.
And we're trying to ultimately we're trying to beat the major indices, because if you're not beating the major indices, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing buying individual equities.
You shouldn't be doing it. You know what my rule of thumb is? We'll end on that. I know you got to go. My rule of thumb is, if you're an active trader like me and you, and if you're not getting, you have a benchmark, right? We all pick it. Let's pick the S&P 500, up 14% for the 15% for the year. Your benchmark should be X amount of that benchmark. My benchmark is 5X. If I can't get 5X, because between short-term capital gains taxes, between commissions, between slippage, between being wrong, being right, all that stuff, you shouldn't be trading. Because after that, you're left maybe with net 2X. Net 2X is great money. But a lot of people also don't understand that. I go, if I'm not 5X, I ain't doing it. Don't do it. It's a
headache.
Yeah, it's a headache. Yeah.
But the other thing that he said, he had a coffee mug that said trade your plan.
Yeah.
So you have to formulate a game plan.
Absolutely.
And you need to adhere to that game plan. But here's the thing. It's got to be your game plan. It can't be Sergio's. It can't be TJ the Wheel Deals. It's got to be your trade plan, because it's your bankroll. It's your race. It's your temperament. It's your know-how, because Sergio has a lot more know-how than I do. Like what I do really, really well, but he knows how to construct a lot of different trades to get to the same result. And most of his stuff is defined risk, whereas I like dance with the devil a lot more than Sergio does.
You do.
So, but what I'm saying is, because we're all running our own race, right? He's playing to his strengths, and I have like this wide temperament, like a big wide range of, like, I can deal with a lot of risk, but at the same time, it's because I also have a lot of capital and I could cover. Like what you guys see is, oh my God, that's a naked strangle. But you don't see is I could turn it into a covered strangle and take all the pressure off the upside. Yeah. That way I don't have to babysit this fucking trades for the next 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what most people do, though, because they don't know and they stretch too far, too thin, right? And then when the shit hits the fan, and shit does hit the fan, trust me.
It will. It will.
And if the minute you don't expect shit's hitting the fan, it's going to hit the fan, and then they're not ready. Now they're panicking. Now they're like, oh my God, what do I do now? Okay, so last but not least, plan is very important, right? The 3 Ps. I said this for years. I've been saying this. Patience. You got to wait for the shit to come to you. Don't chase this shit.
Agreed.
It's not worth it. There's 10,000 stocks. 10,000. Find something to do. That's one. Patience. Second one is position size. Most people, what position size? They go YOLO into shit. One YOLO to other YOLO to the other YOLO. I'm like, okay.
It's crazy.
Good luck. And the third one is what you said, planning. You got to have a plan. Yeah. What is your entry? What is your risk at entry? What is your exit? All this is a plan. And if it gets there with the patience that you waited, and if it gets to your level, you commit. You do it. You don't think about it. then up to market gods. You could still be wrong, but you did your best. And that's trading for you, and you do it really well. And I appreciate you coming on, man. We should do these quite often.
I gotta run, but I appreciate it, man. And like I said, I don't go live much on my channel for the public. I'm mostly for members only, but I'll definitely make some drop-ins in here to
absolutely
the few words of wisdom that I have. I appreciate you guys, man. Sergio, I appreciate you. Got to run, man.
Take care, man. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, did I freeze? Anyway, folks, that was TJ, the wheel deal. He's great. He does what he does. He stays in his lane, and he's doing really well. Thumbs up to TJ. Thank you, TJ, for showing up. I'm not frozen now. I froze. I was frozen. I think I'm okay now. All right, let's go to the positions. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, honestly. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute. I can't go to positions now because I added TJ stuff. And I was buying shit in the background, so I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Share screen. Yeah, StreamYard is goofy. Let's see if I can share the screen and go through positions and say goodbye. Go have a cup of coffee. Oh, come on, StreamYard. Are we doing it? Are we? No, gosh. Okay. Maybe it's my Google. I don't know. I don't care. Bear with me, folks. I have a lot of positions. Okay, there we go. Ooh, we got a nasty sell-off out of the blue on SBET and come back. Okay. What is going on? What were the pings for? Okay, hold on a second. All right, we got the positions up. Okay. All right, so you guys can see this. Let me go through the positions real quick before I get cut off. S&P 500 new all-time highs, obviously, but let's go to the positions because there were a bunch of pings, dings. I don't know what I was doing. All right. Let me just real quickly look through what could have happened. Oh, I know what's going on. What is going on? Am I buying this stuff? Not much really has happened, honestly. Yeah, I'm still buying that. Oh, I bought 3. Okay, fine. Okay, so start at the top. I will post these on the community page of the YouTube channel, folks. The members get it live, but then I'll post it for the regular subs. What do we have? Start at the top. Strive Inc., the hot stock over the weekend. Everybody's talking about it. I took a position on this way before it became hot. I figured out the upside downside because I was involved in a merger with SMLR. A different story. You guys can go check the history on that separately. Let's see. Okay. We bought another 320 shares of FTHM. Okay, we're up to 8,000 shares. Okay, we're going to buy about 10,000 shares of this. So like I said, let it come to you, folks. Don't rush. I'm buying. I have 2,000 more at 68 and 66. Every 2 cents, I'm buying 1,000 shares of this. FTHM is the symbol. The name of the company is Fathom Holdings. All right, Strive Inc. Up a huge volume today. It's $1.50. I am in 325 call debit spreads. Long 225. I actually added to it today at 25 cents. These are January 2027 calls. Leaps is like, let's say you call it. Stock is $1.50, $1.53. It was as high as 165, low as 135. I'm long 225 of the 2.5 calls. I'm long 100 of the 5 calls. They're all the same. And this morning I sold $10 calls. So this is a completed call debit spread now between 2.5, 5s, and 10s. I put 25 more actually CDSs, call debit spreads today at 25 cents. So I'm putting in 25. The payoff could be, obviously stock gets to 10, it'll be $7.5, 2.5. I'm talking 25 cents to $7. So the position is full. I'm just going to wait and let it play itself out. Next one, I put these on Friday, a little weekly cash grab, but I will take a couple thousand shares of Webull. I put on a put credit spread at about 40 cents. These are 11.5, 10.5s. We're up a little bit on that. I mean, I'm up about 25% on that trade. This next one is I had bought 275 of the Beyond once Beyond was flying. Beyond Meat dollar puts. I spent 11 cents for those. They're down to 10 cents. But what I did is I turned this into a put credit spread, which I would actually love getting assigned BYND. So I sold 200 of the 1.5, weekly 1.5s, because I'm taking advantage of the IV situation. So the long puts that are going out to November 21st, regular expiration. The IV on those is down to 285, but the weeklies are 363 and 418. So what I did is I sold 275 of the weekly puts, turning it into a put credit spread. Along the November ones as protection. If I do get assigned 25 or 27,500 shares of BYND, I will sell weekly calls. They have weeklies. That's why I like weeklies. Next one, I'm up to 8,000 shares of FTHM. Average cost 175. Stock is 172. I just started buying this on Friday, and I'm adding today. I have a couple thousand more to go at a couple of cents lower. Next one is a synthetic going out to November on METC. I'm selling a put credit spread, 30-25 put credit spread to buy a call debit spread, 40-50s. We'll put this on Friday. Obviously, Trump announced the deal with China, especially with rare earths, but this company is not a rare earth, so I will take a few hundred shares of this if I do get assigned. We'll play that out. I was going to add to it, but I don't like adding to losing positions, so no need to do any of that. This is the bigger position here. 2,000 shares of SBAT stock, SBET. That's Sharplink Gaming. Long 70 of the this is going out all to January. I'm short 80 put credit spreads. January 15, 12.5. Stock is 14.75. I put those on at about $1.25 range. So if it's above in January, if it's above 15, I collect all the premium. But I took that premium and bought a whole bunch of 70 of the January 15 calls. I'm almost at the money now. Stock is 14.75. This morning, though, I sold 20, and I will make sure I'll sell some more of those. Turn this into a weekly call or a calendar spread. Let me see if I can do that. I'll just go to the next one. This is also. I was 60, now I'm 50. I'm balanced now. This is a call debit spread on Solana's 2x ETF, SOLT. I am long 50 of the November 20 calls, where we're in the money now. But I'm short. I sold those on Friday. I probably should have waited a day, but it's okay. I sold against the long 50 options, or I was 60 actually. I took profits in the morning. My cost is 268 on those. They're about 350. So, but I sold against November 20s. I sold the 25s, 27s, 29s, 31s, and 33s. So if Solana takes off, the call debit spread is definitely going to print. So patiently, we got to wait. SBAT, I want to sell actually now. I want to go sell some more weeklies. Lower my cost basis on the calls and lower my cost basis on the stock. I sold some 20 of them at a nickel this morning. They go out to 17 calls for Friday. Stock is 14.75. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. Let me see if I can grab a nickel of the 17s for Friday. Yeah, something's wrong with my shit. Trade. Nickel 4-5. Yeah, let's sell 70. Yeah, let's sell actually 50 more of those at a nickel. You know, you guys are going to say, well, that was a nickel. Yeah, nickel at 17. If SBET is 17, which is literally over 20%-ish higher than what it is today by Friday, my long January 15 calls are going to absolutely double. So let's sell 50 more of those at a nickel if we can get it off. And I'm also long 2,000 shares. So just cover those and lower the cost base. I did the same thing last week, every week. These are weeklies. I love dealing with stocks that have weeklies. I can do these little cash grabs, nickels and dimes. And at the end, by the time you get to January 2026, you have lowered your cost basis literally to close to nothing, basically. Yeah, everything is set the way I want to set. I'm actually looking at 2 trades. One is gold, obviously, but not gold in itself. This is gold. There's probably a little bit more of a sell-off that gold is going to. This is the 2-minute chart. If we look at the daily chart of gold, yeah, I think 50-day on gold is about, GLD is 355, but NUGT is selling off a lot harder, which is, NUGT, by the way, is the direction, whatever you want to call it. Daily gold miners 2x ETF. It's up to 127. Yeah, I was going to do it this morning. So if we do test 120 one more time, I will do some put credit spreads. These has weekly options as well. You know, I do both. I take directionals. You know, people ask me like, "Oh, I don't understand your style." I don't have a style. I go where the money's at. Wherever I'm going to be presented with opportunity, that's what I'm going to do. I am equipped and mentally, financially, in every which way, educationally, to handle these trades, to structure them properly, to do the right thing at the right time. So that's what we do. You know, there's no panicking here, and things go against you once in a while, but you know your exit. Like, for example, METC, right? I put the trade on, I put a 35.30 put credit spread on. Now, I could have just sold the puts and I would have been eating it now, but my short puts are kind of protecting me, not as much. I would like to add to this position, actually. Stock was 65 down to 32. Earnings are coming out. I don't like playing before earnings, but I have a call debit spread that I bought. Actually, I did this overall trade with credit, so if I can do it with like a couple of dollar credit, I would like to add to it just about now. And I don't mind getting assigned shares at 35 minus the credit. Let me see if I can do something. November. Selling the November 35 puts, buying the November 30 puts. 295 credit. Okay, that's not that bad. But now we got to go turbocharge it a little bit. We're going to buy the 40 calls. I mean, I can just do that and be happy with that. Maybe I should. Let me see. Maybe I should leg it in. Yeah. 295 credit. Stock is 52 and change, so we're right at the money. Yeah, let's just do that first. Let's put that order in. And we're doing 1475, correct. Okay, so that order is in. Yeah, market makers on the stock is just pain in the goddamn ass. They just won't do it. 295 is too high. Okay. What do you want? 290? I'll give you another nickel. That's about it. That's all you're going to get. I'm not messing around with you, sir. Okay, we did 290. Let's see what we can do. The calls side now. Okay. We'll add it to that. Let's see what we can do. The call side now. Call side is pretty solid. Buy the calls, sell the calls. Okay. Actually, I maybe just buy the short leg of the calls back with 50%. Just buy calls. Let's see if we can do that. We sold the calls at 120. They're down to 70 cents. They're taking about 40%. Why would I do a call debit spread? I wouldn't do it. Let me buy those calls back. Take the gain there. We bought on a 66 cents, so we almost took about 45%. Now let's see if we can buy some calls. Let's see if we can buy some calls. What's my cost on the calls? Original cost? $3. Wow. Okay. Let's buy them at 185. So we can negotiate with this fucking guy. 185. Okay, 184. Sounds good. So now we have 20 PCSs and 10 PCSs and 10 calls. Okay. Sounds good to me. That's it. That's the position. I'm not adding. I'm willing to buy 1,000 shares of METC. I have the PCS on, so downside is kind of protected. That's about it. SPAD stays. Solana stays. Beyond stays. FTHM we're adding. Webull PCS is melting already. We're up about 30% on that. ASST, going out to January, I'm just going to let him play the game. Super, super active option chain on ASST today. I mean, ridiculous, especially those weeklies. It's $1.50 stock, folks. Look at these weeklies. There are going to be a lot of people talking gamma squeeze. They don't understand what that is, number one. Number two, I was actually surprised that it went about 135. Because that's where the pipe investors were, close to 450 million shares of it. But today's volume on ASST is incredible. What is it today? Let me see. Wow. And we're 11 o'clock and we're at 800 million shares. Holy shit. So some dude called Mike Alfred, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's respected. He bought 1 million shares or $1 million worth of 1 million shares. I don't know. Look at these weeklies, folks. Look at the weekly 1.5s, 37,000 open interest. They traded 175,000 with 400 IV, $2 calls. Weeklies, these are expiring Friday. 1,660 open interest. They traded 118,000. Unbelievable. This is like massive numbers of calls. We'll see if they reflect in open interest tomorrow, but so when this happens and there's no open interest and all the buyers are coming in, the market makers are selling it, so they have to hedge themselves, obviously, right? So we'll see. How about the next week's? Yeah, there's incredible amount of volume going on. Not as much as Beyond, but it is pretty high. Oh my God. Next week's 1.5s, 8,000 open interest. They traded close to 80,000 already. And 2s next week's, 1,000 open interest, 50,000 of them traded with an IV of about 300. Yeah, I'll just stay with my Januaries. Let me see if my Januaries are active. This is going out January 2027, folks. Not much action there. It's fine. I put the position on and then we just harvest now. We wait. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. Just wait. Patience. Just gotta wait. Solana, I will start closing the call debit spreads probably about 23 range. I staggered them every 2 points, so 25, 27, 29, 31, 33. The stock is 20, folks. We're talking 33. So, we'll see. SLT is pretty wild though. Yeah, so we added to METC. Oh, we're going to just about buy another 1,000 shares of FTHM. You're going to say, why are you buying that? I don't know. I like it. It's a real estate play. Interest rates coming down. They're the largest real estate mortgage and title company in the Carolinas. This is the chart. Full disclosure, my buddy works, he's the top analyst at Roth MKM. He just put out a report. Actually, this company just did a secondary at $2, so I'm surprised institutions are letting it go down this far. But long story short, they just did a secondary at 2, and his price target is 2.5 on this. So I do like I know lower interest rates, I think, are going to benefit this company. So I'm accumulating This is how you do it. You just accumulate. You buy. You just, when it's on sale, you just buy shit. And then this is optionable too, by the way. But I don't think they have weeklies. Yeah, this is optionable. So I can go out to November. I mean, stock is buck and change. I can go sell the November 2.5s at like a dime, but I'm not going to do any of that. I don't like picking up pennies in front of the bulldozer. Yeah, I'll buy a couple thousand more shares. I'll probably end up buying maybe 15,000 shares of this if it keeps pulling back. Every couple cents I'll buy down. The rest is the rest. We're just trying to sell some calls. Pretty much everything is in balance. No harm, no foul. Okay. So I'm going to answer the questions, and then I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. I just explained it. There's one of my members. David says, curious why. Yeah, interest rates, lower interest rates. A lot of refinancings, go look on Yahoo webpage. They just did a secondary, so they don't need cash anymore. Real estate activity should pick up on their brokerage side because lower interest rates will have people start buying homes again because affordability was ridiculously low. They do the whole package. They keep taking over other brokerages in the area. Don't look at the stock price. I mean, $1.50 is $1.50, obviously. But my thesis on this is lower interest rates are going to create more housing activity in the related industries, such as refinancing and things like that. And it's optionable. So at some point, I may sell some calls. But that's the thesis behind it. And I'm just buying shares. I'm not going to mess around with anything else. So my gunslinger, Doug. Yeah, that's a very important distinction, right? When I'm putting on option trades, I always look at efficiency of the trade, obviously. Would it be like more efficient to do the options now, put credit spreads or selling puts and things like that, and wait for the stock if it's going to come down to do it? In most cases, obviously, selling puts is going to be more, equity efficient. But then, what if there is a crash or whoosh or something, and then now you're deep in the money? Can you buy the shares? So you have to make the distinction. I mean, it comes with experience. Over time, you kind of understand what to do, what is better, right? In FTHM's case, definitely shares are better. In ASST's case, I put up literally nothing, 25, 30 cents to take a 30, I don't know, I froze again, a 30-some thousand share exposure. So, and it's going out all the way to January 2027. I know I keep freezing, so I need to stop doing this stupidity. But you'll learn over time of what to do, the shares or derivatives, options, or ETFs, or 2x ETFs. I mean, there's a lot of these, 2x ETFs. I like trading those, especially the optionable ones, where you can create some, income opportunities, short weekly, options, things like that. So you'll learn. Also, it depends on your account size, obviously. I mean, if you have a large account, then, you can do all kinds of things, right? So account size, I think, it's the important part here. Most people do options or gravitate towards options, and they buy a premium because their account size is not there. And most of the time, we know what happens if you do buy premium. Most of the time. Sometimes it works out. But if you're a buyer of premium continuously, you're not going to do well. Okay? And, although, I mean, if you're a seller of premium too, sometimes, like what happened in April, if you're a seller of premium and you didn't size correctly, you would blow account after account. So, because now you're going to be deep in the money, your puts are going to be deep in the money. Or if you're selling strangles, naked strangles, upside is a huge problem, right? I mean, overnight your stock can be a takeover. Then what? You're toast. So you have to deliver those shares. You're selling naked calls. Look, you have to know what you're doing, obviously, and then you have to adjust and size correctly. So let's finish this today. Thanks for TJ. My hats off to you for coming on. He's convinced PM&R is his horse, and he has a large position in it, leaps and shares. My horse in this is going to be SBET on the ETH side, and DFDV on the Solana side. So those are the two DATs I'm dealing with. I think I have pretty much full position on SBET. I don't think it's going to go any larger because, look, there's always downside. Okay. I'm pretty bullish, but there's always downside. So, yeah. Housing should have a renaissance or comeback. Housing has been dead for 3 years, 4 years. Nobody can afford it. Obviously, due to inflation, housing prices have gone through the roof. There's a lot of people think, oh, real estate is great. I'm like, no, real estate is just keeping pace with inflation in this country. My house is perfect, not even kept pace with inflation. It's doubled in 22 years. Well, that's 5.5% a year, but I lost that much buying power every year. So real estate is not what people think it is. But it's a simple asset to understand. You're seeing it, it's tangible, and then you do it. And in my world, I'm like, real estate probably will come like third or fourth in asset classes. But it's simple for people to understand. So I understand why they gravitate towards real estate. New build, same thing. I mean, interest rates are the most important thing in real estate. Most important thing. Obviously, price is important, but interest rates are very, very important. During ZERP, you could have had a 3% 30-year fix. Today, 30-year fix, even it has come down a little bit, it's still 6.5%. So your interest cost has doubled on that thing. And your affordability is out of the window because your paycheck did not double, right? So, that's it. Anyway, folks, so I'm going to... perfect timing. This is fucked up. I'm going to... is it? Froze again. Something is going wrong. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for the support. Please go check out the website. You're in time. You have half an hour. If you do subscribe to the free newsletter on the website, www.sergioavadian.com, you will get the newsletter still today. I'm not going to say what it is about, but it's an interesting topic. And you can go check out the website, read the blog. There's already 5-6 articles on the blog, and the library is going to get larger and larger. Sorry about these technical issues. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out at some point. Thank you for TJ coming on. Go through the positions. I will post my positions at the end of the day on the community page of the YouTube channel. Please put a thumbs up. Please share. But for me, the important thing is financial literacy. I'm going to do my best to create some balance between haves and have-nots. And look, I'm a capitalist, okay? But share the wealth, man. Talk about these important things as opposed to be just secretive. I'm like, oh, I have this edge. I'm like, no, nobody has an edge, bro. They're all lying, bullshitting you. Nobody has an edge. Nobody does. Edge was the old days. Today's fast-paced, HFT, all these things, nobody has an edge. Citadel has an edge. Guaranteed money. They print money every day. Other than Citadel and Jane Street and a couple other folks, nobody has an edge. All these furus on X have an edge. Got nothing, bro. Anyway, but long story short, please support the channel. Put a thumbs up. Share. I have a good video coming out in half an hour on the channel. It's about 38 trillion and 1.5 trillion. That's the hint. You guys will figure that out. That's where we are. And Washington's still not working, right? They're on a vacation. The country is functioning perfectly good, I think. So maybe they should stay away. Although they are collecting paychecks. Unlike the air traffic controllers who are not getting paid, the douches in Washington are getting paid. They're collecting the paycheck and their healthcare is still there. Go figure that out, folks. Anyway, much love. Stay healthy. See you guys on Wednesday, hopefully with less technical issues. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And on Friday, Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Today, on Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Members only live. Go join the membership. You'll learn a lot. We have a tight little group. We have some fun there. And that's it. So I finish every live stream this way. May all your shorts tank and may all your longs rocket. So have a great week. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.